Hey everybody, it's Last Robokai here, and it's time for more Fate Samurai Remnant. We're finishing off Zheng and Zhou on the Keian Command Complex. I can't say it anymore. It's like I'm actually really tired today. I do apologize, everybody. You're gonna get peak Robokai's brain like stops working halfway through a sentence. And I'm joined by a cool guy who's probably not much better.
No. Like I say what I want to say at this point. You know, they've got the alliteration going, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm saying what comes to my brain.
We've had so many close encounters with the Keian Command Championship, with me starting to wanting to say complex. I feel like I've said it a few times now. I almost said complex. This time it happened. So we're in for a great one today. It's the climax to Zheng and Zhou facing down. We don't know who. I've forgotten. I played this. I've forgotten who we faced down. So that's great. And then we're going to be facing Ibuki Douji, and we'll see what surprises she has in store for our sensible Chinese companions. So let's get stuck straight in.
手に汗握る激闘、胸を打たんばかりの決着。
Vomit on your sweater, mom spaghetti.
Falling out of your pockets.
It's like that's like the worst thing though. You get up to do your set and you throw up on yourself and you're like got spaghetti. You know, you got the vomit spaghetti on your shirt and you're like, well, what am I gonna do with all this pocket spaghetti now? I don't need it.
Just wolf it down like an animal.
Just go out on stage, just looking like you've just been in and out of the spaghetti.
I don't see what, like, does anybody not like spaghetti? Like, you better have some real reason, like I don't know, what do they call it? Crohn's disease. You better you better have Crohn's disease. You're like, I don't like spaghetti.
There's the pose we love so much.
That is a great pose. You think they discussed that or just sort of nodded at each other about it?
I reckon Boss probably was like, hey, can you guys like do a cool pose next time? And I was like, alright. What word?
I had a weird feeling. Such a simple approach is sometimes the best. Okay.
It's definitely the most entertaining sometimes.
Looking forward to watching you get suplexed.
Me, never.
Probably not going to happen, but still, it would make me laugh.
I would not be surprised if it happened. he just be like that.
Just comes out of nowhere, like the arms come up, and then it's just like, oh, I've made mistakes in my life.
Well, it's definitely a case of, in other fights, where it's Master-Servant, it's a lot easier because you can focus the Master, it wounds the Servant, right? That's not gonna happen here. We got two servants.
They both got irritating barriers.
So this is a lot like the fight against Ibuki Douji and, you know, Boss we're gonna be doing at the end.
I don't know. I feel like that'll go over pretty well as long as you can keep them relatively in the same area. Simply because Joe has so much AOE on him.
She did nearly eat him out of house and home.
Yeah.
相手はバーサーカーが2機。こちらは術者1人にサーバント1機。
I don't like those odds usually.
兵法の情動に照らして考えれば最初から挑むべき相手ではないな。だが勝たねば道は開けない。そうだろう、我がマスターよ。口にせずとも意を組んでくれるとは、さすがは我がサーバントだ。いかなる強敵が道を塞ごうとも、全身全霊をもって立ち向かうのみ。両陣営とも用意は良いな。反則なし、場外以外何でもありの大勝負よ。ついに決勝戦を開始する。
And it's time for the struggle to begin. I was just kind of thinking, I haven't played it yet, but they've just released the demo for the next Dynasty Warriors game, Dynasty Warrior Origins, which is Omega Force's next big title. Omega Force obviously worked on this game, and so I've just been thinking to myself, I wonder what they're gonna make Shoyu look like. Because Shoyu's definitely gonna be in the game, because I have 100% seen in the trailers a scene of Cao Cao looking really depressed with his ships on fire in the background.
I mean, yeah. It's one of the biggest climaxes of both the Three Kingdoms era and also the book. So like it would be criminal to get rid of it. But Zhou usually isn't made quite this handsome in Dynasty Warriors games.
I was actually just googling his pictures. He didn't look too bad, but one of the big things is that a lot of the characters in the Dynasty Warriors games, like for Origins, are getting a little bit of a glow up. Even like Dong Zhuo isn't looking quite as like corpulent as he usually does.
I was gonna say, like, normally he's a fat ass with the crappiest beard ever.
He looks a lot more imposing now. He looks like he's got muscle under the fat, basically. Which is, to be fair, I think a lot fairer a depiction of him, considering he was quite an accomplished general in his own right. It's kind of like how they've been rehabilitating a few of the rogues galleries around Oda Nobunaga, like the Imagawa guy that he beat the shit out of, in a lot more depictions and stuff. Now he's actually being depicted as actually kind of fucking terrifying, and then it's kind of a miracle that Oda Nobunaga beat his ass.
That was why Oda Nobunaga had to demonize him in the aftermath of it. Proper 2-stage yell, I'm with it.
Well, that's a problem.
Jesus.
That was timing, holy fuck.
That was intimidating.
I forgot that they both did that, and that, you know, like, my entire body clenches up. But yeah, the interesting thing at the very least about the Dynasty Warriors game is it's like you play as a sort of an unnamed protagonist, and it's basically going to start from the Yellow Turban Rebellion, and you're basically just going to work your way on from there.
It kind of reminds me of how a lot of the old PS2 games did it. Like the best way to play those games in a lot of ways was just to make your own character and make your own bodyguards and just freaking go nuts with whatever you wanted to do. And then, you know, you pursued Lu Bu and realized why that was a terrible idea, and anybody who wasn't an isekai character wouldn't have even conceived it.
So, I have seen webms of the demo. It is the fight with Lu Bu and Do Not Pursue Lu Bu. And somebody has already posted, like, a video of them attempting to pursue Lu Bu, and Lu Bu basically just zooming across the battlefield, picking them up, and just choke slamming them into the ground with, like, terrifying amounts of force, like, oh, he's dead! The protagonist just fucking died!
I would not have it any other way.
Some people have apparently, like, beaten him in the demo, and I'm just like, that sounds fucking... He moves scary! Like, the better graphics and everything makes him look so imposing. It's really funny how Lu Bu's kind of depicted in Fate, because he's mostly as a berserker, and he's like a incomprehensible one at that, which is a bit of a shame, because historically he is probably one of the more interesting characters, I think, because of just how he basically went, fuck y'all, I'm doing things my way.
Yeah, like it's always very tempting to fall into the characterization of that Lu Bu got as basically a rabid dog that they eventually put down. But you know, like, the entire reason why he got to that pinnacle where he had to be put down in the first place was because he had he dared to be independent, basically. He was an incredibly good, strong fighter, and also a very accomplished tactician. He just had absolutely no head whatsoever for stewardship or administration. Like, and he never really got good advisors that he could delegate those responsibilities to. He had a couple of them that made a stab at it, but you know, it never really worked out. A lot of the depictions there you kind of have to realize, you know, are told through the lens of, you know, the author needs to tell a good story.
Yosh. Master.
Yes, you terrified them. Like, let's not play. They're smart enough to actually be scared by you.
What
a simile!
Like I said, she's a little bit like Masashi. She likes to use some more conventional terms.
Zen jumps in and doesn't even let Yasuhiro get mad this time.
He's like, time out, hold on,
no,
what?
No.
That's not enough of an explanation, please. He's like, no, look, don't bother.
That always stands out for me. It doesn't matter how many times we do this. That little fake clearing her throat thing always stands out to me.
I always also appreciate the translator leaving in the little star.
Yeah, like she absolutely pronounces that star.
Yeah.
Just listen to her.
She talks like how some people text.
That's the entire reason why we have like emoji speak or whatever. It's because of people like Ibuki Douji. She's just hundreds of years ahead of the curve.
Pretty much. Oh dear. Just on the Lu Bu thought, it kind of reminds me. There's this manga. I can never remember the name of it, but it's got a little bit of a Fate vibe to it. But it's like, basically, it's the end of the world, and the gods have basically the gods have decided it's the end of the world. It's the end of humanity. They're gonna wipe humanity out. And the Valkyries are like, no, we're not doing that. That's stupid. Why don't we hold a tournament where the humans get a right to prove that they're allowed to exist? You know, basically a series of fights. Whoever wins the most wins. Humans get to survive, or gods get to wipe them out. That's like all the pantheons of gods, not just like one. Like they're mostly headed up by Zeus, but
this is
all
Mortal. This is Mortal Kombat with a mythological twist.
Yeah, and the Valkyries help out the humans by basically bonding with their weapons, so that if a human is killed, the Valkyrie also dies. And Lu Bu's the first contestant for humanity. Really? And I guess he proved popular enough because the guy who does the manga has a few spin-offs as well, based on this story. I'm sure someone will post in the comments and in the thread and things like that. But there's one which is basically just like an absolutely hilarious ahistorical telling of Lu Bu's life, up to and including an entire segment where he just goes to Rome to take part in like shit at a coliseum, and everyone basically just said, yeah, Rome got so embarrassed they kind of pretended this never happened.
Yeah, just we're just gonna destroy all of the records of that week and never speak of it again. The thing is, that sounds exactly like something that the rulers of the Colosseum would do. It was an entire thing where they felt like they had to put on like a proper like WWE style show with all of these stories happening as well. That was totally like a part of Rome's Colosseum. So having somebody like Lu Bu show up, who is both independent enough not to job to somebody in any way, and also strong enough that he can just not be that he cannot go down to any dirty tricks you throw at him. It's just like, all right, yeah, we just got owned 8 ways from Sunday. We're just not going to think about this anymore.
Yeah, that arc in the story hasn't even concluded. It's just like, it basically just notes at the very beginning of the arc that the Romans basically just like pretended this never happened. So that's how you know they're in for a tough time.
I believe it.
There's also like another spin-off which involves like a second tournament, but it's between all the outer gods. So that's basically demigods or gods who are basically not really allowed to be near the main pantheon. They're not like the big gods and things like that. And or in particular case, like they also might have done something in the past that sort of made all the other gods turn on. Like one of the competitors is Ra, and they explain that Ra is an outer god specifically because he attempted to destroy humanity himself a lot earlier, and all the other gods had to stop him. Because it was way too soon, and like he's not the only one taking part in it. Basically, the winner of that is like one of the final entries for the main tournament, but they also get to make a single demand of Zeus that he has to fulfill, and so it should be interesting to see how that goes. Like the Celtic version of Morgana or Morrigan is there. Our buddy Ku is there because he's a demigod. And his version of Gabolg is fucking terrifying. Let's just say that. You know, like Sun Wukong's gonna be taking part in it as well. Prometheus, we know why he's an outer god. Just a whole slew of interesting things. But the sort of thing about the main storyline is like pretty much, aside from like one human character, I think every other human that's taken part in this tournament so far has like a fake character as well.
Outstanding.
So like Lu Bu, Octa Soji, the famous swordsman of the ill-fated Shinsengumi, Nikolai Tesla is there as well. He builds himself an Iron Man style suit out of the Valkyrie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's absolutely going full Iron Man.
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper. Damn it. So just the Valkyrie bonds with a giant fucking knife.
Well, it's really actually quite funny because like Jack the Ripper in Fate is one of the concepts of Jack the Ripper, because obviously we'll never 100% know who Jack the Ripper is. Everyone comes out with all of these theories and of who it is, etc., etc. So Jack the Ripper is more like an urban myth creature instead. And so the one most people know came from Apocrypha, who was an assassin, who is basically this hysterical idea that it was like this punishment that had come from like the aborted children of prostitutes. Like it was like this horrific idea, but that was basically used to try and blame the victims for their own suffering.
Right.
But Strange Fake, which they've actually, you can watch the first episode on YouTube at the moment. I guess it's Crunchyroll. I guess you can subscribe with them and get the rest of it. Jack the Ripper is in that, but he is basically the urban legend Jack the Ripper. So he's a berserker, but because he's a berserker, the madness enhancement has actually made him sane. And he's able to he's basically able to transform himself into a variety of things. And I won't say what his ultimate noble phantasm is, because that would end up spoiling something that's only just now getting an anime release.
Okay.
So I can tell you off camera if you want, but I won't say it.
I'll listen to it off camera. For a minute there, I was just like, do not fucking tell me that there's some sort of link in with this game. No, you're being polite for other fans of other properties. Like, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. But the Jack the Ripper in the manga, this tournament with the Valkyries and stuff in it, is not actually the real Jack the Ripper, but basically a guy who was alive around the same time, who was basically completely he's completely insane. He is a killer. He's a homicidal killer, but his general preference was towards killing killers, so he killed Jack the Ripper, and when they asked him what name he was going to use when he was going to fight in the tournament, he was like, oh, just call me Jack. You know, like, he was quite fond of that name when he was alive. But he killed the original Jack the Ripper. And they actually have a whole manga about that as well, and like his entire characterization. And he fights Hercules.
He fights Hercules.
He fights Hercules in the tournament, because Hercules sides with his father.
Sure, okay.
Oh, and here we go. Trying to guilt us.
Fucking guilt trip, sure, why not?
Well, they tried it on Dayu, they're going to try it on us now. And it's a good chance for him to use the very not often used at all models for the Chinese officers, so that's good to see, because they really just didn't get used nearly enough.
No, they got used like twice.
Got all these animations that like no one will ever see.
Yeah, it's just because you're just rapid firing into these officers, and that's the end of that. Alright, later.
And some people like go to correct me as well and be like, well, hold on a second. One of those characters, like obviously like the character who isn't in the Fate franchise yet, is Adam, like the first human. He takes part.
Okay.
But like some people might say, well, isn't there a particular god who sides with humanity and fights for humanity's side? Surely they haven't appeared as a servant in the Fate franchise. And I just knowingly wink at you and say, wrong, he does. He absolutely does.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I
that particular character,
the comments will be beautiful.
That particular character appears in a game that is getting a remake soon. So I'm not going to tell you where they appear or how they appear. So yeah, you're just going to have to deal with it, everybody. There might be one character or two characters I'm forgetting that don't appear, but I'm pretty sure every single character that's like aside from Adam that's appeared. And more of them.
Are we supposed to only do 2 waves?
She's doing the big mental. Doing the big mental attack.
Swear to God.
裏切り多くを殺めてきた血にまみれた手のひらからは数えきれない命がこぼれていった恨まれ撃たれるのもやむをえんそれが因果というものだろう
それでいいのかケイ名言
アーチャーお前
罪の重さに思考を止め死を受け入れる最も安直な道であり罠だお前はそれを選ぶような男だったのかお前の決意はその程度のものだったのか背負った命奪った命救った命全てのために生き勝利する義務があるだろう私はずっとそう伝えたかった己の半身とも言える古き友にお前は私から再び友をそして願いを奪うつもりか
アーチャーすまん弱気になっていたようだ百節不当こそ俺の心情だというのにな体は動く抗う力は残っているならば最後まで膝を屈するものか
奥が湧き立つこの感じ
She's still having a good time.
ずっと続けていたいくらい
When is she
あなたはどう
not?
かしら
No, to be fair, if she wasn't, this would, like, she's already threatened, this would get a lot worse. A lot faster.
削られを楽しむ佐賀ではないのでな
That would definitely be a state of you need everybody together to bring her down. Ibuki Douji's debut in the Hanko event She wasn't actually ever defeated by the main cast when she was sort of summoned. She basically was
戦い抜いてみせよ
sort of betrayed by the one who summoned her. It's kind of a difficult way to explain it because the villain in this case is a Shuya Doman, who is quite possibly the most Starscream villain the Fate franchise has ever had.
誇れる日も来るまいよ
You know, basically the kind of villain who's like, I'm winning, everything's going to plan, I'm gonna get exactly what I want, but what if I get dumber and greedier? What if I change my plan
そういうの
because I'm so certain I'm going to benefit, and I'm just gonna like do it ad hoc
人の勇気
on the fly?
その
An audible, just running a in the moment audible that ruins everything.
Yeah. And in that particular case, he was going to elevate Ibuki Douji as a beast,
あなたも一緒に遊ばない
basically an evil of humanity, which would have been interesting because I'm not entirely sure how possible that it was, because one of the big features of an evil of humanity is that they also love humanity in some way. So I'm not sure how he intended to do that, but when he realized how much power he could get from absorbing her, he simply went, oh, well, I'll just make myself the beast then, won't I? Which, of course, was impossible because, well, he has no love for humanity, he only has love for himself. And, you know, when that was pointed out to him far too late, he was like, oh, whoops, fuck.
Right, right. That's a thing that happens.
He just got so high on his own supply. I love Doman so much.
もいいけどやっぱり初心
Like, I liked Doman before he was even in Fate as a concept for a character and things like that, and then when he appeared in Fate, his design is perfect. He has quite possibly one of the funniest like, they have like special art of the character once you like to perform the final like boosting ascension on them to like be able to level up to its final thing. It's basically just like him naked in the rafters. Like, it's just like, and you also understand this man is like built like a gigantic like space marine. Like, he definitely looks like the kind of guy who would like be like for like early emperor's children.
Outstanding.
王の慈悲だ
But he's so good. He's such a Starscreamer. That's why I love him so much.
はーい
And I half expected him to have some form of cameo in this game. Somewhere. The fact that, for all accounts, it doesn't seem that he does, is like, it's okay, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I kinda wished he did appear in some form.
I was gonna say, well, I mean, are they done with DLC for this game?
Well, they've done the season pass, and all 3 DLCs have come out, so...
Okay, so...
They have not... Yeah, so they haven't said anything about any further stuff coming down the line, so I think
Probably
it's
not,
pretty much
then.
it.
Smart money is on their done.
Yeah, considering Omega Force is all hands on deck for Dynasty Warriors Origins, I'd say yeah, definitely that the game is complete.
Okay, no, that's fine. I was just gonna say, like with as silly as this DLC has been, I'm not like I have no more presumptions about the other ones.
Doman is like a very legitimate threat. He's very scary and very terrifying, but he is his own worst enemy. But like he does a ridiculous amount of damage on the way to fucking up.
Oh, you saw that, huh?
ですが
Yeah, gotta hold to your purpose. But remember, it wasn't just like visually being shown things. He was being hit with a mental attack too.
That'll be the worst thing ever. Yeah. Actually, yeah.
I feel it in my bones that I really just can't stand this guy for some reason.
ごゆっくり
And also, he will never let you forget it. Like, if you beat him, he'll just say, "Oh, well, I wasn't actually trying that hard." And to be fair, he probably wasn't. But if you lose to him, he will never stop lording that over you.
There's like art for like Fate Stay Night of like Archer, Lancer, Zenku, and Gil, all fishing, and you can just kind of see like Archer is taking it way too seriously. Ku is just fishing, and he's kind of annoyed by the presence of the other two. And then usually you can always just see Gil stand there with his arms folded with like multiple shining golden fishing rods just like propped up with like lines cast into the water. He's such a shitlord.
ことはない 共に願いを叶えるぞ。待った。
Also, they have like little like dialogue blurbs with like these little things that you get alongside servants when you do rolling in Fate Grand Order.
Yeah.
And for one of the summer ones, it was like basically them at a water park, and like Archer and Ku were playing with like water guns that apparently they'd been given by like the joke is they received them from like Saber, because her summer version is an Archer version of herself and she has a water gun. And Gil is complaining that he didn't get one. He's like, where'd you get that? How come you got that?
An extremely Eric Cartman moment is that one stupid ass like season 1 episode where they're all going hunting, and Cartman complains until he gets this massive fucking AK-47.
無限の賭け受けるがいい突撃合戦
It is always just kind of funny because they're always like, these three guys, why are they hanging out together? They hate each other's guts. So it's like two hate.
Everybody else is too boring.
The two can get along. They don't, they'll be smarmy and smart to one another, but they absolutely cannot stand the third dude. He's just such a pain in the ass. Oh dear. Nope, I'm being Babylon.
Jesus! I heard Babylon and wanted to, like reflexively wanted to dodge, and that was, you did not have an extra second after that. I think Boss's shield is down.
Well, Jen can take care of it.
It was down!
I forgot that happened.
Outstanding. Zhengbi, oh, I've got this, I've totally got him on the ropes, and then Boss just nods and he goes ass over tea kettle.
Jeez, they're comboing that move really well, by the way. Where like he does his explosion and she does her explosion, and it's like they're crossing over on each other.
Like, they don't normally synergize this well. I think it's just because Zhou doesn't do quite as much damage as anybody else, so they have more time to do it.
I think also because I'm a lot more spaced on them as well.
Yeah.
Normally I'm like up in the grill with one or two of them.
Yeah, I suppose that's right. Ibuki Douji has only done her like forward hair attack a couple of times. She's preferring her AoE attacks more. It's like the third time Zhang's gotten caught by her tail.
I'm just still laughing about this, like, fucking him being bounced flying when the shield restores. That was so great, because it just kind of looked like he hit with the stick and then just bounced off. Oh dear. Bonk.
We just needed like a hollow noise, just a womp.
Kick her out of the game.
Go up. Probably, yeah. You're probably gonna need to take that shield down again too, because Zhang didn't follow up enough.
Yeah, Zhang. What the hell, man? You didn't.
Dude, you've done literally everything else. They're supposed to be equals. Like, I can forgive it in a number of other situations, but these two are supposed to be bros for life. Like, come on, man.
Look, there's only so much your broing can get you through when you're fighting the literal, like, king of heroes.
I thought for certain he was about to pin you down there. And oh.
It's all good, because at the very least the environment we're in does mean that it's like much more likely I'm just gonna get my Noble Phantasm up and win that way.
Yeah, that 120% doing work.
Fans just love it.
They love watching the world burn. another thing that that modern audiences and classical audiences have in common.
かかったな
Do they ever?
孫悟の異様思い知れ突撃合戦怪人と化せ
Man, that's like the, what, 4th time you've used his noble phantasm this episode?
There's a lot of fire ships afloat today, let me tell you something.
Too many boats to burn.
Telltale crying, doesn't know why.
お姉さんだ満足
He knows exactly why he won't admit it though.
王様
He'll just pretend like he's being haunted by all of the assassins he's killed in his sleep or whatever.
Boss, it's the Keian Command Complex.
並びにアーチャー
パチパチパチおめでとう二人とも
勝利か
どうした
Just a little shell-shocked about it.
It's just like, I am so fucking drained mentally and emotionally.
Yeah, let's go get drunk, because I've got nothing else left.
あなたたちは私を満足させてくれましたパパの名のもとにその勝利を認めます
そうだなありがとうアーチャー俺の力だけでは決して
That is way more true than you know, buddy.
I would happily, like, see these two in Fate Grand Order. I think their designs are pretty cool. And I think...
There's a number of situations like this where you kind of feel like the most charismatic characters like need their own stupid spin-off. I'm definitely with it for Zhang and Zhou. Like the quintessential example that I tend to point out there is like if you've played Persona 4, Kanji and Teddy. Like Persona 4 is a great game, but Kanji and Teddy needed their own fucking like Scooby-Doo game where they just roll around like eating people out of house and home and being awesome. Like the two of them were way too stupid for that game, and I loved them.
人は後悔を背負い
I'm a big Teddy fan. Like, I like him even before, like, he, like, climbs
Gets
out
hot.
and looks fucking weird. Like, you're just kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like
what-
as a
what?
stupid stuffed animal, he's even better.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like the mascot characters that much, but I think they're pretty good in this one. I've been playing Metaphor as well, which is practically a Persona game in all but
Yeah.
name, and it's like it's pretty great too. And they've got you know, two technical mascot characters. One the fairy, but the other's like this knight, and he kind of looks like a bat basically. And I don't mean like a human bat. He looks like a bat if a bat stood upright and like wore a shirt.
あなたをしたい後に気づく人々が現れる
I'm sorry, I got completely distracted by Ibuki Douji getting weirdly serious all of a
未
sudden.
来の英雄さん
Yep.
Like just a unique bit of dialogue she has specifically for Zhang, who she probably knows is going to fail.
いろいろありがとう
Oh well.
またね
But hey, like these are this is already in a historical setting within an ahistorical setting. So there's a very good chance that, after this, he goes on to win the cup, or he could even go on to succeed and not catch malaria. So one of the things about the Fate universe is that there are a lot of different parallel timelines running at once with a lot of differences.
Multiverse
A lot of
theory.
hiccups. A lot of hiccups along the way. Yeah, it's been multiverse theory like since before. Like everyone just started like pouring it directly into their eyeballs in like the movie cinemas.
All right, now for the moment of truth. What are these dorks gonna wish for now that they can't just get their wish?
Yeah, what do you reckon? What do you reckon they're gonna do?
I'm going. Like we just had that whole guilt thing about Zhang. About Zhang failing a whole bunch of people. So I'm gonna guess it's a little bit like what Dayu did, and just, okay, all of those people I hurt, they're taken care of now. That's my guess.
お前は何を願うマスター。
もとより俺の願いは一つきりだ。
And you can't do that now.
万能の願望機ではなかろうと
Oh, really?
そこに至る道を開いてくれるだろう。
よく言った。それでこそ我が主だ。ならば胸を張って願い国を救え。私の願いもまたそれで叶う。
俺はつくづく果報者だな。話は終わったか。では問おう。こたび無二の栄誉に至りし者よ、貴様らの願いは何だ。ああ、俺の願いは夜の海風、傍らの友、月を落とした美酒の杯。まったくこれ以上に贅沢な宴はないな。
ああ、同感だとも。こうして生身の体でお前と酒を酌み交わす日が来るとはな。本当にこれでよかったのか。魔力の使い道ならば他にもあったろう。
俺が求めたのは敵を破るに足る力。確かにお前の受肉は想定外だった。だが今の俺は在家や戦団のみならず100万の兵にも値する名軍師を得たのだ。そこに不満などみじんもないさ。アーチャー、改めてよろしく頼む。ん？義を離れた今、お前をアーチャーと呼ぶのも妙な話か？
何とでも呼べばいい。不便ならば統制風の名でも考えよう。だが周公金を従えたと吹けば敵方も困惑するかもしれんな。
お前、さてはもう酒が回っているな。
そうかもしれん。私はお前の願いに応え、その道行きを支えるためここにいる。お前の勝利を見届けられるのならば何と呼ばれようともどうでもいいんだ。
修老の口説き文句だ。これは飲まずには聞いていられんな。
酔いつぶれて海に落ちるなよ。酒は量なし乱に及ばずだ。
お前こそ慣れぬ生身で深酒をして後悔しても知らんぞ。
おっと、それは気をつけねば。今日の杯は一段と進みが早いのでな。
ああ、俺もだ。まったくいつの時代も
友と酌み交わす酒ほど
うまいものはない。
ああ、良い月だ。杯を傾けるのにはうってつけだな。
So that was a big deal wish, that one.
Yeah, no shit. That was bigger than I thought. I thought the little boy had freaking power for. That is heartwarming as hell.
It's like the most wholesome ending I think we're gonna see.
Yeah, no, that one's the canon one as far as I'm concerned.
There are some very wholesome endings too. If you remember Dayu's ending, if you remember like the other
True.
endings, there've been some pretty great endings.
True,
But,
true. But you know, like not only did do we actually get, you know, like a good bromance going and blah blah blah? They're so happy with it, they fuck off from the waxing moon.
They quit.
Yeah, it's just like,
no,
all right,
there's
cool,
no servant
got it,
anymore.
let go.
There's no servant anymore. They can't compete. Zhou is alive. God. Well, the wholesomeness stops here. Next time on Fate Samurai Remnant, it's Team Lancer.
Oh, good. I'll bring the whiskey because that one's gonna need Ow the Edge.
In all honesty, you might just want to bring the laugh track, because if there's one thing Shiamon is not ready for, it's to deal with someone like Boss.
Somebody who just doesn't give a crap about how emo he is. Yeah, I could feel that.
Mm-hmm. But it is also an opportunity for a little bit more Shiamon and Lancer interactions, because they are quite a good pair together. So until then, I've been the Last Robokai.
And I have been Cool Guy.
And we'll see you next time for more of Fate Samurai Remnant as we continue. We're in the later half now of the Keian Command Championship. And so we'll see you all next time.